Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to the map that will not end here in Songs of Conquest, where it turns out yet another pretender to our throne has to be banished. So let's get down here and banish him. Cecilia, sadly, is very out of position. Let's pop over to our other friend. So what is your deal? Baron Aldous of Loth. Your threat level is feudal, despite the fact that your army is huge and also the text is in red. But also, you should be like a friendly. You should be like a friendly. Right? We're just gonna step out here for a second. Just to make sure that things are on the up and up. Why don't we recruit some units? I do wish I had more money. Yeah. That's a start. That's a shape. And then go ahead and defend with wielder. And honestly, like, what is a rally point is probably a small settlement spot thing, right? Like I could probably destroy this lumber mill. Well, I don't know if the barracks will freak out if we destroy the lumber mill. But like, I'm just thinking like a rally point would be really handy over here somewhere. But I kind of don't know that we have room for it. I guess let's see what happens. Are you going to fight, or are you here merely to speak? Because if you're here to speak, that's fine. Okay, threat level toward parodying is now overwhelming and orange. So the feudal was meant to apply to me. I guess. That's a little weird. What is this guy doing? Like, his whole thing, what he was supposed to be doing was what Loth is supposed to be doing is bringing our tribute. I just feel like maybe that's not what they're up to, you know? Maybe we build a rally point back here. Rally point doesn't cost any gold or anything. Let's see here. We have a peasant hut. We already have a castle pumping out fists of order. We have an upgraded building. You know, I think a rally point's actually a perfectly fine construction here. And then, like, do I own this gold mine? This is my gold mine. Yeah, what else can I be doing here? I want to make sure that I'm bringing in as much money as possible, but I think I mostly am. Right, the gold mine's working for me? No, okay, it was not. It's weird how, like, the text doesn't change color or anything. Well, I'm glad I did that then. Let's just draft some troops real quick. I mean, I may want to put some stuff back to give it to her via the rally point, but for the moment, I guess let's just recruit all of these, and then get back in there and play defense. This building is not. I need a friendly wielder to come and repair it. Darn it. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't have my normal garrison. Okay, now we have some garrison. I didn't even realize that was not working normally. We'll get in there and play defense because I don't trust you to actually win that fight right now. And it does seem like he's going to see Cecilia, right? What am I doing? You know, that's not how that works. I don't have to have her build the thing. So, like, here, honestly, I am thinking marketplace to just turn glimmer thread into proper gold. It's probably the smartest thing. And then we can have her recruit stuff. Like, we can nearly fill up on scavenged bones, which seems like a great idea. Maybe I'm nervous about a thing I don't need to be nervous about, but this guy's behaving in a way that is not soothing me, is all I'm saying. We could, yeah, go up to a full slot of these. That's about all of our money. We don't have a defensive structure here, so we don't really have like a garrison. We do have a guard tower at Hazel Point, so maybe what I should do is drop back to Hazel Point, and I'd rather get caught there. I mean, it looks like he's headed to Hazel Point anyway. All right, what else? We could just grab 4 more Fists of Order, certainly. Very cavalry-heavy army. We could also... like, a Fist of Order, 75 health, 37 offense, 33 defense. Yeah, they are better than Scavenged Bones. They're very expensive, but they're better. Yeah, I am going to do that. Okay, and this thing's ready now. So we can, like... we can divest ourselves of a bunch of this stuff and fill up her army just in case. Because I don't know, you know? You know how I don't know? You know what that's like? What else do we want to fill this army with is the question. Turns out there were still 2 more of those guys. Oh yeah, there's still 2 of them in the garrison. Well, filling up the slot is for sure a good idea. I would love some more archers. And we definitely can afford to, like, we can part with a bunch of this stuff too. And there's no, like, supply and demand mechanics here, so we can just sell off a ton of these resources. Come over here to you, have you... Can I undraft troops back into the settlement pool and then pull them? I don't think I can. Okay, so never mind. Just go ahead and get back to it. So we could pull nearly another slot worth of skeletons, or these guys, specters. If I sold some more, we actually do have enough scavenged bones for another full slot of those. And like, odds are pretty good. We're just like at the end of the scenario, right? And I may be worrying about nothing at all. But every time I think we're at the end of the scenario, it turns out we are extremely not at the end of the scenario. So let's just safe side it, right? Give me a slot of these. And then what else? What else do I still feel comfortable selling? I mean, I'll go down to 10 of those, and honestly, we're bringing in so much stone and wood, and also we don't really need a lot. Her army is going to be impressive when the bad guys show up. Let's finish our slot of specters. I'm okay going into battle like this. This reads as a fair threat. And in fact, we're going to... oh, that's a castle, not the settlement building. There we go. We're going to go into defend with wielder stance. All right, let's see what he does. A huge army of undead marched in unison behind the familiar figure of Aldous of Loth. Strangely robed humans and elderly scholars traveled with these monsters, clearly untroubled by their undead comrades. I mean, who are we to throw stones in this particular situation? Baron Aldous, what foul deed is this? Do these abominations serve you? Nay, this is a noble deed. They are but soldiers of the Empress. Long ago they swore an oath to protect Arleon and the Aurelian Empire and serve as long as it is needed. And it is needed. You are blind. These creatures corrupt the very earth they walk on. Again, my army is okay. A temporary inconvenience. I've been assured that once the Empress Aurelia returns, the earth shall be restored. The Empress Aurelia? Aldous, this is madness. That's what I thought once. But I've seen her, and she is magnificent. Imagine the baronies united, and Barya returned to the fold. Join our alliance, Cecilia Stoutheart. Take the oath, and kneel with me at Aurelia's feet. Together we will eclipse the glory days of old. No, never. I will never do the thing that I'm already doing. No, but... You forget your history, Baron. Stouthearts never kneel. That's like the one thing that we are always saying, and that everybody's always saying about us. Prepare yourself, nerd. Okay, so he's got some scary stuff, but we got some scary stuff. Let's do it. Also, this time I actually made use of our ballista and stuff. Okay, so the ballista has effectively infinite range, and we can see the deadly range, of course, ends just before any of the enemy troops. That's a heck of a thing. Legions. -10 defense, -10 initiative to enemies nearby. Attacks in a sweeping arc. Okay. Yeah, it's a little spooky. Are these are scavenged bones with like the basic stats. What are you doing? Well, you have 3 Arcana and a Destruction. You can't retaliate. You have Order Arcana, and you can boost spell damage power. It doesn't feel like a large enough amount to matter, though, right? I think getting rid of their Scavenged Bones is high value. Scavenged Bones are pretty scary. And then we got our own, who are not prepared to enter combat. We're pretty fast, so we can stay back. I don't want to give the opponent too much, like, AoE targeting to hit with. I kind of wish... Yeah, I wish I had stacked this a little bit differently. I hit go way too quickly. Let's hit protection on you. And I guess the other Scavenged Bones as well. And then... I could still Chaos Step that Scavenged Bones out, but I don't know that I think that's worthwhile. I think I'm just going to end the turn here. Alright, pretty good start, pretty good start. I see no reason not to just slay them. Yeah, run this until end of round. Makes sense to me. Oh, they blew up my ballista with that spell that kills one of anything. Yeah, I mean, we could just step up and spread the defense. And then next up is going to be that guy who's probably not really going to do anything. Let me give my archer some defense as well. Okay, so they're cracking through. They're cracking through the barricades. I don't know that we need to do anything about that. All right, we have been poisoned. We have a pretty decent damage capacity here. This guy hasn't gotten a turn. We can just make sure he doesn't. I think that's a perfectly reasonable use of this turn. And again, I really wish Spectres could bypass barricades. As it is, I think we're just kind of sitting here. All right, let's... When does this end? It doesn't actually say when it ends. Well, let's roll up here and give the buff to our sappers, at least, or our militia. These are unupgraded. That said, they still do a lot of damage. What am I most worried about? I mean, this thing, right? Yeah, I think that thing's a very sensible most worried about. 20 damage to target troop is not going to be super meaningful against it, I assume. Well, you know, it's a pretty small number of units. Actually, I kind of think that is what we're doing. And then we have the question of, actually, do we want to run this guy forward at all? Part of me kind of wants to bypass these dudes, just take the opportunity attack to crush the casters. Well, I guess our men-at-arms there are going to get a turn before the casters do. They'll be able to handle it. Okay, you don't need to do anything. I don't think there's any particular reason for us to cast right now. Okay, the big one's not in a position to get very much done. Do I want to do anything else to him? He's not even... Oh, he does have enough range to get up and attack us, I guess. We'll just do a little protection. I think that's fine. Maybe even a couple levels, just to be on the safe side. Oh, right, he couldn't help but hit the barrel. So he killed many of us, actually. You're good. You just go ahead and reload. All right, most of us don't really need to do anything. This guy can run forward and just massacre a bunch of these nerds. Do I have the resources for... This might be an okay time for a rally, actually. And then... Also sabotage. Also, like, fuck your shit for real. And 20 damage. Take that. Alright, that's pretty compelling. Oh no, my essence. Why would you... That Spectre's been stuck in the corner there the whole time. Finally gets a chance to attack, and he goes after the scavenged bones. I guess at that point the battle was over enough that he was just like, please let me die. Alright, well, I'll take it. As the defeated Baron was taken away in chains, Paradine and Cecilia gathered to assess the remaining Stoutheart forces. Paradine, take our forces afoot to Springhold, where Vilya prepares for Hammond's invasion. The Baron will stand trial for his deeds at the next conclave of barons. I will travel to Grey Tor and stop this corruption. At once, Cecilia. But Hammond was no friend to Loth. If we tell her about the undead, maybe she'll join forces with us? Common enemy? I fear Hammond's wounds may be too fresh, but you can try to sue for peace, good Paradine. I'm willing to return her traditional holdings in exchange for her oath and service against this new threat. Oh, forgive me, Cecilia, but you risk offending Lady Hammond if you are not there for the negotiations. A risk I must take. Loth was my vassal and my responsibility. Tell Lady Hammond if I do not stop this corruption, it could be the end for both of us. I trust in Vilya's axe to defend our lands, and your heart, Paradine, to find peace for us all. Knights, to me, we ride. Okay, we finally finished the map. The treachery of Baron Aldous revealed a new enemy, but Cecilia's loyal troops were ready to stand against the unseen society and the undead, no matter the odds. But of course, only when thoroughly bolstered by extremely powerful undead. Oh, right, and then this is going to be the loudest thing ever.
Foul corruption met Cecilia of Stoutheart. Risen dead, created by some magic black art. Fought the Fae, believe they've been betrayed. The Baron say was on its way. She so clearly that they've been misled. Won't
And I see this version of the song excises the verse where we find out that actually the undead are pretty cool once you get used to them. It's actually they're fine dudes. By the way, I pulled the volume down to a fifth of what it was at when that song started, and it was still that loud. The volume slider changes when the music starts. That's a way for that to work. Anyway, Loth had brought an evil into the world, and as a vassal of Stoutheart, it was Cecilia's responsibility to stop them. She reinforced the towns of Hazel Point and Oakhaven and headed north through the Tenderwild with the remainder of her forces, hoping to draft troops from the settlements along the way. She was planning on attacking Grey Tor, Loth's capital, and the heart of their barony. You know, Worthy has been giving us a fair challenge, I think, so far. I am certainly still very inexpert in the operation of these systems. But we have a better handle on it now. After a desperate race through the Tunderwild, Cecilia's troops finally neared the edge of the forest and the barony of Loth. She had levied some troops along the way, but far fewer than she had hoped for. It would have to be enough. Loth must be stopped. Well, you know, if you don't have a lot of troops, a great way to get a lot of value out of them is for them to be undead. After they get killed, they can just get back up. Alright, lots of offense for the next battle. Because you have little to fear from a dead enemy. Oh, I should actually, hold on. She has a lot of gear. Yeah, we picked up so much stuff. So I have this Chaos Essence trinket and this Order Essence trinket. We're still wearing the gold income gloves. That's probably wrong. I guess we only have one. We have a couple different copies of one replacement, but I will say it turns out that the gold income does matter sometimes. And then we're using an 11 offense main hand, and our offhand is just open, so that's probably a mistake. Yeah, I don't hate that. 21 ranged offense. I think this will do. And boots wise, we don't have a ton of boots. But the boots we're wearing are the best ones we have access to, and all of our helmets are basically the same. 20 range resistance is actually not the armor I would prefer to wear. Right? Over just 8 resistance, because a lot of the damage we take is melee damage. Alright, I think that's a better setup. Well, let's do it. Clear signs of corruption had spread through the woods. Cecilia could hear the chittering of rats and caught glimpses of undead soldiers shambling through the area. This is actually risky. I don't think there's anything else we can do. We do have to attack. Yep, alright. We win risky battles sometimes. Alright, that's not as many dead as I would like. That said, Fury is free here, right? Because we don't... Well, the thing is, I don't have enough resources to cast Fury and Quicken. So this guy can't run forward for free because he'll get walloped. So I guess let's hold off for a second. Okay. Now if we Fury, it's basically free. Although it is only melee offense. Aw. This guy's so weakened. I think we really ought to focus elsewhere. And then you will, in fact, just crush him completely. So the rats are dealing 1 to 2 damage each. Whereas this guy's dealing 2 to 3 damage, so actually he's not really all that impressive. This might be an okay time for the Fury. Actually, just 50 melee offense on this one unit's charge. Yeah, that seems pretty wise. Let's do it from down here, though, to really make it as hard as possible for enemies to retaliate meaningfully. Yeah, pretty good. Do I want to... Well, we have a lot more resources now. I can Fury, and then Fury again? Nope, not stacking. I had hope. Well, I mean, try not to take all of the damage, please. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Obviously, you get pasted. It's a bad order. And we're not going to get anywhere close to you anyway, so let's just go to the high ground, I guess. Okay, that said risky, but honestly, wasn't that bad. It turns out knights are amazing. I'd really underestimated the value of cavalry, I think. As the last of the skeletons fell before Cecilia's dwindling troops, a massive figure strode from the dense underbrush. I thought you were an honorable warrior. Was I wrong to let you live the last time we met? A question she always asks herself after she lets anyone live. No, Cecilia Stoutheart. It is because of my honor that I've come to offer safe passage through the remainder of the Tenderwild. Will you accept my escort? What do they call you? I am Gnaw, High Chief of the Fae, and the leader of the Queen's Guard. Well, Gnaw, you may walk with us, but know that my soldiers will be watching you. We really do not make friends, like at all. It's just kind of not how we get down. I suppose for right now, before we have a source of Glimmerweave income, it probably makes more sense to take the Glimmerweave. That said, I do love experience points. Gnaw walked alongside Cecilia, his huge form looming over her, although sadly not in commandable form. Our queen, Ethil Ernaline, has long warned us of a great threat to the Fae. Many of my people think you are that threat, but I am uncertain. I have seen you fight the undead, and the humans who raised them. I will destroy the undead, and Loth will pay for the corruption they brought into the world. But make no mistake, I will fight any Fae who break the ancient covenant. The deaths at Thorncliff will not be forgotten. Well, it is your people who have pushed the boundaries deeper into the Tenderwild. We only sought to defend ourselves. I was not aware that our trespasses were so severe. Now you are. I don't think she believes him. It probably doesn't help that she only has the one facial expression. What's this dead commander got on him? The Oathkeeper. Yo, that is a pretty cool weapon. Not that we need the +1 command right now. It's just like a little bit worse than the hammer, and so I will change it back. But at some point, that could be really powerful. You know, once we have enough troops to actually make use of it. A fallen beacon of power. Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping it would do something. Oh, this is just Fae Spirits. Well, this will not be a problem. Fae Spirits flew towards Cecilia's line, but before they could attack, Gnaw stepped to the front and whistled 3 sharp notes. Easy, little friends. These are not foes. They fight the undead. Not foes? We follow and kill dead. Yes, Gnaw, yes. Stoutheart, I've heard your words, observed your actions. Your goal is the same as ours. Let us heal the breach between our people and face this corruption together. Are you offering an alliance? For in truth I am in dire need of allies, even strange ones such as you. We are. These spirits will do your bidding. Spirits, this wielder is your master now. Master, yes? Kill the dead? Yes, little spirits. We will kill the dead. See, this is all she needed, was to encounter a bunch of people out in the world who want nothing but to kill. Alright. I was feeling pretty good about things before. These guys are not amazing. Well, you know, their damage output's not terrible. But, like, more troops is more essence, right? So, whatever. Whoever wants to show up is welcome. Definitely take the XP. I don't know what the maximum level is. 5 initiative for each of our troops. As we have seen already in the last episode, 5 initiative is potentially pretty significant. But also the third tier of a class of spells is significant. I'm going to take Order Magic. Maybe that was silly. I don't know. Okay, this looks a little scary. Rank upon rank of undead legionnaires had risen in the clearing. The earth around them was corrupted, and the forest showed signs of decay. And you know how they do. These undead have appeared in many places in the Tender Wild, ever since a human knight shattered the urn of Aurelia. And I thought you had created them. I apologize for my actions and those of my vassal Loth. Why would we do such a thing? We have forever kept a vigil to safeguard the world from the corruption of undeath. And they're, bound by their whatever. Alright, do the thing. So, those guys up front. I don't know that we need, especially given how little movement the militia get, we definitely don't want them to be so far back. So the Legionnaires can be pretty scary. Probably do not want to completely dunk my defense here. Not while they still have retaliation. 75 melee offense. I would be just about doubling our attacks, so we definitely should not expect to be able to kill any of these stacks that way. So I guess we'll just throw up some protection here. You and you and you, maybe? And then let's... I guess I should have attacked this one, because we could stack up the damage between the two of them. These things have 22 health each, so... yeah, Boiling Blood will end up being quite a lot of damage over time. Should absolutely have stacked up the damage. It's a real bummer. I mean, how tough are you? Well, 72 defense and stuff. You know what? It is probably okay to run you forward. Because the knight is going to jump in front of you anyway, so... a little bit more defense, and let's go. Yeah, the counterattack damage coming out of the horses is really impressive. I think we might be better off just attacking with the fey creatures here. Attacking with our footmen is just going to be meaningless deaths. These ones feel much, much, much more powerful than the ones that we were fighting out in the, woods randomly. And I'm not 100% clear on, like, whether we're getting buffed versions of the troops or, like, how much of it exactly is just the bonus stats on the wielder. I guess we do have an awful lot of offense and defense between all of our improvements. That probably is all that it is. All right. So some Fae over there. Let's definitely grab the stone circle. Oh, all right. Ran out of movement. You just stay right there while we finish prepping. Please. I asked nicely. There's no way he won't listen. Okay, another 1,200, and yeah, see, it's not nearly a level. It takes a lot to level at this point. What are we looking at here? Oh, that's hardly anybody. They're just going to join us, I assume. Yeah, Naw stepped out in front of Cecilia and stamped his hoof. This is the wielder who bested your brethren. Yep, we shall fight beside her. Cool. We get it. Welcome aboard. There's not really a good reason for this to be two different units. Yeah, because this is what I was figuring. There's probably going to be more pickups waiting out here. If we get another one after this, I don't know what we'll do with them. 3 Fey nobles appeared from nowhere. Was Giandra correct and you've brought Stoutheart to face judgment? Stoutheart did not break the urn. Stoutheart fights the undead, and Giandra is blinded by her grief and her need for revenge. While it may matter little, wish the seneschal from long ago is risen. Those strange-robed humans, the unseen society, scour old ruins for powerful artifacts. We can only guess their purpose. These are dark times, little human, and we see much uncertainty ahead. Noble Fae, the future is always uncertain. But know this, I'm gonna do murders. That's kind of my that's the only thing I've ever done. I literally only know 2 verbs, shout and kill. I understand why your line is called shout kill. The future is still clouded, but we shall fight alongside you. Okay, cool. Yes, welcome aboard, friends. So what is your deal? You have some creation chaos stuff. You can inspire. Okay, and just like pretty solid ranged offense. Yeah, works for me. I do love to take on a bunch of a guarded bubbling pot. Let's go get him. I do love it in these kinds of games when you can, get a good mix of like cross-faction units going. There's something about that always feels really cool. Cecilia of Stoutheart, we have been sent to wait for you. You wear the colors of Loth, but hide your faces. Who are you? We, the Unseen Society, formally extend a hand of friendship. The Empress has observed you and deemed you worthy. Will you take the oath? I decline your offer. Your Empress is dead, and so are you. Oh, that might be, but our oath will live on. Fey allies, it is time to make good our alliance and stop this cult from spreading like the corruption that it is. All right, let's do it. Let's murk these dudes. Again, we probably need to place... Given how quickly the knights move, we could probably place the knights a little further back. Let's do something like that. Plus, we want the knights to have to run forward a little bit. Alright, so these guys are fast, but they don't really have anything else going for them. I mean, they have ranged units. They're going to be able to hit me if they want to hit me. We'll move to here, and we'll like defense, and I guess like you move up pretty soon. The rider goes at the end of the turn, so I'm not prioritizing the rider. Let's just start on the ranged units, right? I like the fact that they have different tones for when there's more of them singing. That's cool. I do not like the fact that I don't have the movement range necessary to get in on them. How much do you move? 3. So you'll be able to get your deadly range on me here. Yeah, I see no reason to run forward any further then. Okay. We do not have to put up with that noise. Yeah, they probably shouldn't have run their casters so far forward. Probably not actually a great plan. Alright, so it should be no problem for you to just finish these guys off. Do I want to like quicken or chaos step you in order to attack one of the others? Probably not. I think getting rid of these guys is like its own reward. Now, unfortunately, we're almost certainly not going to be able to attack here. I guess I could... You know, that's interesting. I guess I wouldn't want to do it right now, though. Because we're about to have one of our ranged units go. But yeah, we could call up a Tempest and just screw up their attack really badly. Although, perhaps it will turn out to be wholly unnecessary. Deals 120 damage to target troop, jumps to an additional troop within 2 hexes. What does 120 do here? 120 kills most of them. Will Chain Lightning... It says to an additional troop. We don't know for sure that it won't hit my own troops. So why don't we just go ahead and fire off that Tempest real quick. And... sure, rally as well. This is just for the horses, basically. Alright, it turns out that an army built specifically for the purpose of getting murdered by fast-moving Fey units really gets murdered by fast-moving Fey units. When the last of the cultists lay dead on the ground, a familiar one-antlered Fey wielder emerged from the woods and picked her way across the battlefield. Giandra Stormspire had arrived. Naw, High Chief, you disobeyed my command, and I find you in the company of our enemy. Or have you brought her here for judgment? You would not listen to my counsel, Giandra. I had to show you the truth. Cecilia Stoutheart is not our enemy. Stormspire, you assumed I had broken the covenant by destroying this urn. Though it was by human hand, it was not by my order. If I recover it... No, it is too late. The urn contained the ashes of Empress Aurelia. We have protected it for centuries, and now the Unseen Society have used it to raise the Empress from the dead. Our queen warned us of this. Then let us turn our rage against the Empress Risen and save the Tenderwild you love. What say you? Can we find peace? The only way I understand it? It is what the queen would want, Giandra. You are ever my good counsel, Naw. Cecilia of Stoutheart, we Fey offer an alliance on behalf of our queen, Ethel Ernaline, to fight the undead Empress and to renew the peace and respect between our people. I have seen the bravery of the Fae in the field of battle, and now I see the honor of your actions and the wisdom of your leadership. Stoutheart accepts. I will be glad to fight alongside you, Stormspire. Cecilia, if you build the homes of our people in these settlements, we shall come to your aid. Then let's rid this land of the filth that is undead. And this means I don't get any undead myself, sadly. Alright, so he's not really bearing much here, and also he has no gear on. That's the thing that's probably worth fixing before we walk away. So we're probably going to be pretty heavy on melee damage, it feels like. I don't know. I definitely don't think we're in crossbow country here. Oh, sorry. You already have a... Yeah, that's fine, actually. That'll do just fine. Let's get you some reasonable chainmail, one of these hats, boots that are almost as good as my boots, gloves that are... You know, you can have my view radius gloves, and obviously I'm keeping all of my necklaces and whatnot for myself. Do we want to lift his troops? I guess there's no reason not to take these. His army's already so small it couldn't fight anything. Okay. You're just grabbing loot and converting buildings for us. That said, I will absolutely make an offering at the Fae Tree. Alright, so there's a bunch of Aurelian Legionnaires down there. You're out of movement. Very unimpressive Cape of Leaves. So this one's just +9. I mean, do I want to go down to +7 and gain a shield? That's probably worthwhile, right? Yeah, plus an additional 9 defense. I will take these guys and also these two. Thank you. I do think you should probably be wearing this. Do we have another one of those hats? We do have another one of those hats. And you can wear the income gloves. Somebody should have them. And then boots. Yeah, I guess this is all we're going to be able to do for boots. But okay, that's helpful. Cecilia is pretty low on movement already. Honestly, as are you. All right, is this okay? We haven't properly claimed the town yet. I mean, we can just grab loose resources down here as long as we're not touching the skeletons. As the army neared Briarsbow, a weary old footman came out to greet them. A Fey wielder, but bearing Stoutheart's standard. Are you here to help us? The Baron's gone mad. The Unseen Society is unearthing old buildings, and there are undead skeletons about. Indeed, this standard declares our intent to aid such as you who are wise enough to see the Baron's madness. The Baron's men said it was for the greater good, but what's so good about bringing back the dead? Ridiculous, heretical question. It's unnatural. Build our groves alongside your own home, and my people will come from the Tenderwild to join the fight against the undead. Oh, it would be an honor to fight alongside the Fae, or really anyone who will die on my behalf, you know. And we're glad to have your support. Does the Barony of Loth control the rest of the area? No, many have joined them and are fiercely loyal, but just as many stand against this corruption. The great town of Stonebreach to the far north still resists and would welcome your aid, as well as many smaller settlements nearby. Okay. So, more places to enlist the help of. This is now ours. We have a farm and a peasant hut already, which is nice. So we can build up a proper castle. At least eventually. Now see, unfortunately, this doesn't tell us what the buildings are that we will need for the next level, right? Oh no, it does. Okay, we need a functional farm. So that's why they gave us this one. Well, yeah, go ahead and start building that. I can't build these. Oh, right, just because human buildings require a lot of stone. That makes sense. So far to the north, right? There's still Faye up here, like... Alright. You can run up and just claim income buildings and stuff for us. Quite a lot of apples. Okay, we're feeling out the locations of our enemies. Oh, this is that same turn. You're still out of movement. All right, there's an awful lot of wood laying around. It's not really what we are desperate for. Okay, we got a sharp sword, which is like quite crummy, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. Let's claim the watermill. We definitely want to grab the stone deposit before we do much else. We are going to need all of this stuff if we're going to build any human buildings. A little bit more Arcana Essence. I don't feel like I'm super familiar with Arcana Essence. But this looks like truly just a huge amount of... what do you call it? Resources and loot back here. So, how do I want to position... We want our ranged units in position where they can actually get at the enemies. Yeah, like I really want you starting closer up as well. These things are fairly fast. This should be fine. Okay, nobody's getting any closer. We can just stop right here. Rats have 5 health each, so this level of boiling blood actually does a lot of damage to them over time. Like, light up those ones in the back for the moment. I'm afraid the other stacks are large enough that the losses from that would not, I think, be interesting. And I guess, yeah, one of y'all. Okay, it's a pretty decent chunk of damage. You're the only one who's actually in deadly range. Wow, they really will just like run out here and kill 72 rats in a single attack. This feels like a little bit of a waste. How much more movement would I need? Probably only one. But also, we could just chaos step you over to like here. Yeah, that'll do it. Turns out, not really the most terrifying group of enemies. You know what? I'm still not even going to attack. Let's just like be on the super safe side here. All right, so I have no idea how much we're going to be pressured on this mission by enemy wielders. We might have to move quickly. It's really hard to say. 100 gold, I don't think is better than... It's not better than an extra army slot. There's no way. It's just like, compared to what troops cost, it's too insignificant to be worth a skill point. Alright, some basic stuff. These are glimmer gloves. They seem fancy. Big spell damage resistance. Honestly, I would rather have the defense and offense. We just don't take that much spell damage, you know? So that's the second one of these fallen beacons of power that we've grabbed that don't seem to do anything directly. Very curious about that. All right, you're not ready to actually fight anybody. But we can hit some of this stuff out here. I guess the minstrels? I don't know. That might have been wrong. Honestly, hard to say. All right, you're not really ready to fight either. Okay, so our main settlement building is at its highest tier. The farm is at the highest tier. The peasant hut could use a little upgrade because obviously sappers are good. Do I want to spend 5 celestial ore on a guard tower upgrade? Maybe not. Maybe not right away. Yeah, I think that's reasonable so far. Now that we have a little bit of stone in the bank, we can actually build a castle. Although, whether I want a castle over... I do. The horses are very powerful. Yeah, I definitely do. We'll just have to get some more settlements so we can build the rest of our stuff. It's kind of a shame that it takes a lumberyard to get the upgraded archers and stuff, considering how little lumber matters. It's not a resource that you are in great demand of at any point. Okay, so I'm gonna let Cecilia run off with the troops she has now, and the other wielders here can grab units. I guess probably you first. So first of all, let's do that upgrade. Yeah, and we can start taking out stuff around the edges of the settlement, like these easier groups of militia or whatever, once we have the resources to do so. May as well grab that tribute to creation. And then, yeah, head back down here. Okay, so we definitely want that. We definitely want this upgraded so that they're the fancy versions of the troops. It's a cool looking building. All right, and then what we want to build here is... Oh, we could build a fake court instead of an armory. It's probably the right move. It's going to be a while before we can really think about that, though. Okay, what do I do with you? Honestly... Oh, there's a dead commander over here. That bone scimitar is interesting. You only have a both hands weapon. But yeah, as an offhand, this is quite good. Alright, I'm I'm going to try to find Stone Breach with Cecilia. They said it was far to the north. We'll just figure out how to get up there. That means probably you are just in defense mode here. Yeah, that seems perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and do troop upgrades. Very important to upgrade troops. And we'll just keep building up this force for a while. Hey, Cecilia's running around with non-upgraded troops then, isn't she? We also probably can't afford to upgrade. Yeah, her troops are definitely expensive. But it's well worth it, I suppose. Ah, the upgraded, they're considered different troop types. They can't be in the same pool. That's a little annoying. Do I want to hold off? No, I mean, let's head over here. The welcoming warmth of the tinder wild drifted out and around the army. The alliance was mended. Oh, okay. These guys are cool. So actually, yeah, because these are Fey troops, I'd rather have them encountered by you. So they can just jump into your army. Provided that I have interpreted that correctly. It is it's a very small number of horned ones. Yeah, welcome aboard. It's gonna be the same deal. Okay, so yeah, she can... Giandra can feel out the stuff over here. Cecilia, I guess, can just turn back around. Work on upgrading some more of her troops. And then... let's get that creation tribute. These we will have to fight. These ones, I'm guessing, are also just joiners. And hopefully no one attacks the settlement while we're out. We definitely need more income. Or not more income, but more gold, certainly. Okay, 3,300. That will help. I think we can probably take this, although we have no ancient amber source, but I bet we'll find one. Yeah, I guess whatever. It's fine. All right, a lot of interesting stuff up here. Let's burn down these specters, and then we'll turn back around and get some other stuff done. I am actually fine with that as a setup. Yeah, I don't imagine this is going to be terribly challenging. Alright, y'all are mostly just going to stand around. Once the enemies come forward, things will begin. So, first of all, don't quite have deadly range on them. I only have to move forward 2 spaces. Yeah, but I kind of want to get like all the way out of everybody's way. And let's just start with you, I suppose. Yeah, it's fairly easy. All right, let's chaos step you forward. All right, cool. We got maximum forwardness. Yeah, things are going okay. Sadly, we rarely end a battle by finding just a huge amount of gold laying around on the battlefield, which is what I would like. All right, that's worthwhile. No thanks. Let's secure ourselves some more incomes. Ooh, okay. So we have some juicier enemies here. I don't know if I want to test them necessarily, but let's at least get close enough that we can tell. Okay, it's not very complicated, and there's a lot of resources locked behind them. Yeah, let's do it. We should be able to handle this. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm kind of just going to set those guys outside the battle. Let's move. These guys don't have much range, right? Yeah, let's try it like that. It is a lot of bones. I'll give them that. There's no reason to play super far back with these guys, at least. Okay. Should be safe for us to take up high ground positions. Sure. Alright. Oh, that's a shame. We can't quite get up on the high ground. Let's chaos step you. Oh, that rules. I didn't lose my my damage by moving. We got deadly range on the important units. I am inclined to focus more on you, probably. Oh, this is also not within deadly range. There we go. Chaos step. Okay. That is sufficient. Yeah, I think we'll just run to here. You sadly are not going to be able to get into range, but the thing you can do is pick up some initiative, and I guess also you. Oops, sorry, no, I do want to do that. Also you, and also you, and also the militia. The militia sometimes have trouble getting where they're going. All right, I believe in you. And I was right to do so. So, how do I want to handle this? We don't have an initiative slow for him, so yeah, I guess we really do just want to charge him. Chaos Step is really doing some fantastic work here. Three to 4, I think that's probably fine. Like cast on, I don't know. Realistically, only one of you's taking damage, so we'll do it one more time for the stack. Okay, I'm actually like very pleased with the small amount of damage we took there. That's what I figured. If we can just get into, even into soft range, that's going to be lethal. So that went pretty well. We lost almost nobody. Alright, hopefully all of the stuff that awaits behind you is worthwhile. Including sources of amber and whatnot. Alright, oh, you're totally out of movement, and you're just waiting in the settlement. Alright, let's real quick here run forward and get our loot. Let's see what's available to us here. An ethereal shield. Have to pick up the stone first, I guess. Yeah, I will. We're trying to save this stuff up, but also we're going to be picking up stacks of it as we continue to explore. And grabbing the level makes me... It feels pretty wise. Ooh, do we want even more essence or another 10% melee resist? You know, the spells are powerful. I don't want to be running too far forward, but we do want to also make sure that we're grabbing money-making buildings. I guess this is stuff that we can count on Cecilia to grab. Maybe the smart thing to do would be to just continue heading north. Alright, now we have movement. And also just a really big pile of gold. And Queen Ethel Ernaline long mourned the passing of King Aerith Amelin, refusing to speak to anyone about his death. So deep was her sorrow that the mere mention of his name brought her to tears, and in that sorrow her reign began. That's a bummer. Alright, that's a big fancy treasure chest. And I don't need to do this with you, but we do need to build something. I think we're waiting on the Fey Court, probably. So we don't have the... Oh, I forgot. You need a quarry to build the upgraded version of this, too. Phooey. Why's everything got to be so difficult? Well... If that's the case... Do I want to drop the peasant hut? And instead of having a castle, build like lumber yard into the barracks. I think I probably do, actually. And we have a couple of turns here to like fix our silly error. Yeah, lumber mill. Okay. So the ground here is looking pretty corrupted to me. I think what we are looking at is a dangerous area. And I probably just want to keep heading toward a settlement that is vaguely up there. So I'm going to leave those troops alone. We're going to ignore them. Blacksmith will show me a falchion, which I'm assuming is not all that interesting. 10 defense and 20% spell damage resistance. I don't know that I do think that's as good as ranged offense. I understand the urge to cast with the to roll with the purple. Oh, you know what? I guess I should be doing this actually. The space is actually relevant to us now. All right. Okay. Pretty simple cacophony of plague rats. I suppose let's deal with them. Yeah, like you can be all the way in the back. One of you can be all the way in the back. We definitely want our ranged units up. All right. Yeah, I don't see much of a need to to move forward here at first. I guess you can move up just to a position where you're more likely to be able to hit them later. You're not doing anything. It's not as much damage as I would like. I guess I should work on the larger swarms, though. Because these guys are going to be able to... They're going to be able to completely wipe this thing out no matter what. I guess let's work on the other ones. Oh no, 1 damage. Yeah, I'll take the opportunity attack. It's fine. 'Cause I'm thinking these guys will be able to finish off those things next turn. Especially if they can get a little bit of a push with that. All right, so some onslaught, and then we got. I mean, insect swarm's not gonna. Yeah, okay. The initiative change was not very significant. All right, there's the onslaught. Good enough. And yeah, you should be able to do that. Just, I don't know. Other people as well can also get bonus movement. Not that it matters. Doing my level best to keep Cecilia's army in one piece for whatever it is that's going on at this northern settlement, because you know it's going to be bad. Right, another stone deposit is certainly welcome. Let's go change the flags on some of these buildings. I definitely do want to grab the watchtower. Okay. Whole bunch of gold, definitely worthwhile. Yeah, these should be able to join my army. And here is our source of Glimmerweave. We still don't have actual Ancient Amber income, but I don't remember needing very much Ancient Amber. Alright, let's get to the construction of this Fey Court. Tier 2 is going to require the Fey Grove. Okay. Good news on that front. Okay, this we need a lumber mill for. We may as well keep the sapper building in place for a second. How are we doing on troop pools? Is anybody... I guess, I don't know, like, do the troop pools have caps? In any case, we're not recruiting stuff nearly fast enough for that to be a worry. Okay, good view, good view. We should probably deal with those lumber camp bandits because we actually do have a limited amount of wood. Okay. Turn and flee, smart fellas. Yo! Swamp beasts. Okay, that can be Cecilia's problem. As can a lot of this. I'll grab the watermill as we're headed back. Oh, that's a settlement. We should grab that settlement. Also, I should probably end the episode at some point, huh? Movement and initiative over... Yeah. Yeah, that seems correct. So some money and stuff. We do not need the glimmer weave, I don't think. Not as much as we'll need the gold. Okay, just a fake court out here producing. Yeah, cool. That's weird. That's weird that there's one of those out here doing that. We don't actually have room to recruit those guys. Unless I like... Yeah, I would just disband my minstrels. You are definitely an improvement. So yeah, I'm gonna one more turn myself into another 2-hour episode here if I'm not wary. Let's go ahead and end this now. We've got ourselves established. There is a great deal more expansion to do, and if somebody shows up to pressure us from the west, we at the very least have a wielder in position to quickly pull all the troops out of the pool and form up against them. So I think we're looking like we're in a pretty good position here so far. I'm feeling powerful, and that means that at some point very soon, a massive enemy army is going to walk out of the dark and just horribly embarrass me. So I guess come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.